Yo, what is up guys, it's your boy Silas, and today I'm coming at you with a brand new video. What I'm going to react to today is top 15 strangest people caught on how to catch a predator. So without further ado, let's go.
5 minutes and then follow me up, okay?
Okay.
No other person on To Catch a Predator has been so persistent. He's done nothing wrong. Jeff Stacy met who he thought was a 15-year-old during the team's sting in Ohio. By the time the conversation was over, Stacy had already agreed to meet with the girl.
It looks like a predator.
Only hours later, Stacy showed up at the Sting house, prepared to do whatever he wanted with the girl. Instead, he met Chris Hansen, who had some pretty tough questions for him. To all those present, they all quickly discovered Stacy was not the man he portrayed himself to be. In fact, he had given them fake photos.
What is this music? Why am I saying? Okay, sorry.
And lied about his age, stating he was 21 when he was actually 27. He also lied, saying the girl said she was 18, even though the chat log clearly shows him stating she was 15. Throughout the entire interview with Hansen, Stacy either played dumb or blew off Hansen's worries, acting as if nothing he said was wrong. Stacy has gotten attention across the internet, in part for his humorous voice,
Look.
face, and inability to grasp how seriously in trouble he was. Even after he was taken into custody, Stacy refused to admit he had done anything wrong, but the court proved otherwise. Number 14, Michael Warwicker.
Can you get me a drink, please? Did you remember the handcuffs?
We have a lot to talk about. Why don't you have a seat?
Go ahead. This is punch, right?
Yeah.
Unlike the other entries, this man's words are more strange than his appearance on the show. Michael Warwicker was found by the team during their sting operation in
Looks the exact same.
Long Beach, California. The signs of Warwicker's fantasies were apparent immediately. Warwicker arrived at the Long Beach house, and Chris Hansen immediately confronted him. Hansen clearly shows disbelief in Warwicker's online behavior and persona, but Warwicker brushes these off. He also tried to brush off the fact that the decoy said she was 13, claiming he believed it was a ruse. Warwicker's attitude is just truly unsettling about his appearance on To Catch a Predator, as he constantly attempts to justify both him being there and speaking that way to someone who is claiming to be a 13-year-old. He was taken into custody following the interview and pled no contest to his actions. Number 13, David K.
I gotta ask, you still gonna be up for tonight after seeing your girlfriend?
We'll see.
This rabbi from Maryland.
Did they say rabbi? sorry.
Began chatting with a decoy posing as a 13-year-old boy. Kay traveled to the team's sting operation in Hurton, Virginia. Once entering the home, Chris Hansen noticed how confident Kay was, even commenting on how Kay was walking around as if he owned the place. He is even seen laughing at the decoy's suggestion if he'd still be up for tonight after the rabbi sees his girlfriend. The sound of his laugh sounds cunning and borderline maniacal. Unfortunately for him, Kay's confidence is shattered once he turns around and finds Chris Hansen ready to talk to him. During the interview, Kay remains mostly silent, either unwilling or unable to speak. Once Hansen reveals the cameras, Kay becomes agitated and attempts to push away the cameras. The security steps in and stops him before Kay leaves. Hansen stated for months following, Kay made phone calls to Hansen's office. Police were not present at this operation, so all the attendees were allowed to leave, hence why Kay was able to freely call Hansen and harass him. Number 12, James Rutherford.
Where are you?
He took like a younger version of the rest of them.
Just gonna go finish getting ready. I'll be right there.
Where are you?
I'll be right back. Just sit at the bar and I'll be right
Unfortunately for the public,
Never mind, it looks worse.
predators can end up having careers we wish they never had. James Rutherford was a 6th grade teacher from Ohio when he began chatting with a decoy, posing as a 13-year-old girl. When he showed up to the Sting house, it was evident by his actions outside. He had a feeling something was wrong. This was proven true when he walked in the door and found Chris Hansen there. Rutherford went into detail how he was going through a divorce and the stress had caused him to delve into these habits. The chat log revealed how these fantasies somewhat played into his career life when he talked about how he coaches the girls' track team. What's interesting about
Stupid and ugly. Look at him. Look.
his interview is how honest Rutherford seems to be about all this. After the show aired, a mother
The exact same.
of one of Rutherford's students called Dateline and thanked them, stating she believed Rutherford had been attempting to groom her daughter for some time. Rutherford knows what's going to happen and states he will not survive locked up and that he has ruined the rest of his life. Hansen even appears to take some pity on Rutherford, giving a card with his email and office number. Rutherford was indeed sentenced, and it is reported he has been seeking counseling since his release.
No one cares. You did the deed. Stay there forever.
Number 11, Joe Wonderler.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Why don't you have a seat right around the stool?
I'm just. Go ahead, just have a seat.
This man has some truly twisted
By now you're gonna tell me this isn't the exact same guy. That's all of.
fantasies. Joe Wonderler was an intelligence officer when he was found by the team during their Virginia stakeout. Wonderler spoke with a decoy for nearly a week, making several bizarre requests. People on the internet know him as the Dog Man. Chris Hansen cannot hide his disbelief.
The dog. Oh, he does look like a dog. What dog? There's a cartoon dog. I can't get to it. If I find a picture, I'll put it up.
At the man's statements in the chat log. Obviously confused and disgusted, Wonderler claims he just came over to talk, but we all know the real reason he was there. His excuse for his talk was simply, "I'm a lonely guy." Hansen shows little sympathy
You're a lonely guy and you go for 13-year-old girls. Okay.
for Wonderler, which has been the same with the viewers of the show. The decoy who chatted with Wonderler
I'm upset that I like all of these people look.
during the week said by the time Wonderler arrived at the house, she was emotionally and mentally exhausted by the chats, calling them the worst and most vile chat I've ever had to sit through. Number 10, Michael Siebert.
You know, you look familiar to me.
Oops.
Why don't you have a seat, please? Michael, right?
Oops, sorry.
All right, Michael, have a seat. I want to talk to you for a little bit.
If there is anyone who has had a bad
Mouse boy.
stroke of luck, this next entry will prove to be a top runner. Michael Siebert was an unemployed computer technician when he appeared on the show during To Catch a Predator's sting operation in Riverside, California. As per all episodes, once Chris Hansen completed his interview, Siebert was taken into custody once he left the house. 8 months later, they were in the process of conducting another stakeout in Long Beach, with the latter conducting their searches of chat rooms and setting up decoys to lure predators to the house. One particular respondent engaged in a conversation with who he thought was a 13-year-old girl. His conversation was awful, to put it mildly.
He has dirty fingers.
So much so, most of the transcript cannot be repeated here. In short, he describes in detail the acts he wishes to perform. The day of the sting arrived, and after seeing several other people were interviewed and taken into custody, the teams were surprised to see Siebert walking up the driveway and into the house. The confrontation between Chris Hansen and Siebert has gained viral attention both due to the absurdity of the situation, along with Siebert's hilarious reaction. Humor aside, let's remember Siebert was already caught from the Riverside operation.
Couldn't even eat. Look at these people.
And not only that, but he openly talked about his legal appearances to the decoy. Siebert was once again taken into custody and faced new legal troubles in Long Beach. Number 9, Donald Morrison.
Chocolate chip's my favorite.
Mine too.
When I make them for Christmas, I make about 10 dozen of them.
Whoa. Why so many?
And see,
So
so
we usually have family in from the up north. We had like 14 of us here this year.
Holy cow.
Can I get you a glass of milk to go along with those cookies?
Sure.
can I get you a glass of milk to go along with those cookies?
As To Catch a Predator gained recognition, it can come as no surprise people being caught in the stings began to suspect they could be entering a setup and appear on the show. Donald Morrison was one such individual. During a sting in Florida, Morrison was caught in a chat with a decoy, posing to be a 15-year-old girl, almost immediately asking if she wanted to meet up. Morrison came over to the house late in the night and immediately made himself comfortable. Surprisingly, his calm demeanor continued even after Chris Hansen confronted him. Morrison remained polite and was even open with Hansen about his past record. Morrison also admitted he knew he was on To Catch a Predator and made no attempts to hide his face or flee when the cameras came out. Morrison's story seemed different, as he appeared to know he had a problem and needed help. After the interview concluded, he thanked Hansen for setting him straight and said he hoped this would give him the help he needed. 6 years after his appearance on the show, Morrison was once again taken into custody for breaking the terms of his stat.
Can't even eat my breakfast. Look at.
This number 8, Marvin Lacan.
Where are you?
Why just take a seat? Have a cookie. I made that because they'll go with the Cool Whip. It was kind of a little surprise.
You want to explain yourself?
A truly bizarre entry.
Cool, are you mad? I would have. If I was at Chris Cayo, I would have.
Even for a list of this content, Marvin Lacan was caught soliciting a decoy, posing as a 14-year-old. When Lacan entered the house, he stripped to nothing and then proceeded to search for the decoy. As the actress told Lacan to take a seat, he continued to follow the sound of her voice, as if ready to get down to business. Before he can find his supposed partner, Chris Hansen walks in and demands Lacan explains himself. Immediately, Lacan's attitude changes, and when asked what he's doing, he responds making a mistake. Hansen doesn't hide his disgust at Lacan's interest in the decoy. Marvin remains calm, looking as if he knows he's caught, and there's no point fighting. His bizarre fantasies are enough to make anyone sick. Despite Lacan's insistence, he'll never do it again. Hansen and the audience understandably don't believe him. However, he might be correct, since as soon as he leaves the house, he was quickly taken into custody. Number 7, John Dupay.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, I'm really nervous.
I didn't know the make of this. Recent, it looks very new.
Why?
I don't know, I've never done this. Have you?
No.
So what do you want to do?
A hug?
I don't know.
Hey.
Sometimes people
boo.
want double or nothing. In Chris Hansen's new series, Hansen vs. Predator, John Dupay was one of the first individuals caught in their sting. Dupay managed to come into contact with 2 of the show's decoys. He even spoke on the phone with the decoys, and his speech pattern will send chills down a person's spine. His voice has the stereotypical tone of a predator.
Hello. Hey, baby.
In the text messages to both girls, he stated he preferred to be called Boo. When he approached the house of one of the supposed girls, he brought gifts with them, while both the audience and crew held their breath as to what these could be. They turned out to be chips and iced tea. When Hanson confronted Dupay, the latter played innocent, claiming he was there to watch football with the girl. During the course of the interview, Dupay gets noticeably anxious, but maintains his innocence. Immediately upon Hanson identifying himself and the show, Dupay attempts to flee, but is quickly apprehended. Dupay is an example of how
Whoa.
Dupay attempts to flee,
Look at his stomach. He picked up.
but is quickly apprehended.
Look how old he looks. I think I'm gonna end the video there, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna end the video there. If you guys did enjoy the video, you guys know what to do. Subscribe, like, comment. It's been your boy Silas. Ugh. Don't be a predator. Peace out.